Good morning, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle called Stromatolite by Bellsita. She sent this puzzle through, and I've been kind of looking forward to getting to this one, but there'd been a bit of a warning from a test, which was, prepared to spend some time on this one. So I've had to kind of step back and put this one aside until I had a bit more time, and hopefully this is that point. Things are a bit weird for me right now. I I think the only other thing I want to call out before I start the puzzle is in the Cage and Constraints puzzle pack. There is a puzzle of mine called In the Crosshairs, which is one of my Psycho Killer puzzles. And the Psycho Killer rule set is the first thing I ever created when I made a puzzle. And it was a very, very popular, well, not popular, but it was the people who solved it really liked the constraint, but I found it very, very difficult to set with when I was first starting out. I didn't have enough experience, and I made a couple of puzzles with it and a few variants to it, and it got a bit of attention about a bit over a year ago, and then it kind of disappeared, and I understand why. But I've kind of, now that I've got more experience as a setter, I put a lot of that knowledge into this new puzzle, and I'm really happy with it. And I do need to release it on Logic Masters Germany, but I did want to call out that there is this puzzle out there that I really should do a solve video for. But I'm trying to sort of call out puzzles from packs that I think are good, and I need to do more solve videos of packs. It's just I don't have time. The best I can do at the moment is a call out. But I was looking at the interview I did with Memrista, which I've linked to before, and we were talking about the Psycho Killer rule set, and I was reminded of In the Crosshairs and how I hope it gets a little bit more attention, and I've got this forum, so I'm going to mention it, and now I'm going to stop mentioning it, and I'm going to look at Stromatolite by Bellsita. And yeah, pronunciations of names is always tricky. Anyway, so how does this puzzle work? So the rule set's quite simple, but I have been told that there is some tricks to spot. So normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, we must place the digits 1 to 9 without repetition. We have killer, so digits in cages, and this is what made me think of the Psycho Killer. Digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. Digits cannot repeat within cages, but that is not relevant here because they're all dominoes, and we wouldn't be able to repeat anywhere anyway. We also have Kropki Pairs. Digits or cells separated by a black dot. The digits will be in a 1 to 2 ratio, or one will be double the other, and the cells separated by a white dot will be consecutive. Not all dots are given. There is not a lot to go on here. So that's what we have. Let's give this a shot. So there's a couple of things I can see. So 15 cages are limited. They can only be 9, 6 or 7, 8. They're the only possibilities. And that is giving me a quad in this row. So this 12 cage is going to be limited because this can only be 9, 3, 8, 4 or 7, 5. That's the only possibility because I can't put 6, 7, 8 or 9 in here. 14 cages, similarly limited. It can only be 5, 9 or 6, 8. Now 13 cage is less limited. Does that interact with that? 14 cages, 5, 9 or 6, 8. So there will be an 8 or a 9 in here, and there will be an 8 or a 9 in here, but they bounce off each other, don't they? Like if this is 6, 8, this has no value. This can't be 6, 8. If this is 6, 8, then I can't put 6, 9 or 7, 8 in here. So this isn't 6, 8. This is 5, 9, which takes 6, 9 out of here, and this becomes 7, 8. So that's something. Which means what? What does that mean? I don't have to put a 9 in this cage, so I can't turn around and say I can't put 9 in here. Seven, 8, 7, 8 would mean I don't put 7, 8 in here. But that's okay. Gotta put those are interesting. Wait, that's... Oh, okay. Oh, it's not quite enough. Actually, it... Okay, let's go fishing. So, the concept I'm working here is on black Kropki dots, you cannot put 5s, 7s, and 9s because the ratio, the half of 5 is 2.5, double is 10, and similarly with 7 and 9, you end up with something and a half or something 10 or higher. So you can never put 5, 7s, or 9s in these cells. Now I'm looking specifically at columns 2, 5, and 8. I cannot put 5, 7, or 9 in those cells because I've got a 5, 7, 8, 9 quad already. So 5, 7, 9 can't go in those cells. Now, it's not true for 5, but I can't put 7 into the or 9 into those cells. So I'm going to drop 5 out of this for now, and I'm just going to look at 7 and 9. And 7 and 9 can't go in those cells. So what I know is 7 and 9 in these columns must go into those cells. I'm going to mark them in yellow. Yellow may not be best, so let's select yellow and make them blue. So, must go into the blue cells. Actually, I'm going to reverse this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make those grey, and then I'm going to make these green. Okay, and the reason for this, and this actually does work, because this is what is called a swordfish. And what a swordfish means is because what I know now is 7 and 9 are completely limited to these cells in those columns, and that is 3 columns. But I've also limited it to 3 rows in those columns, which means that because I must put one of them in... I'm bad at explaining this. I really should figure out a better way of doing it. Because I've limited to 3 possible rows in 3 columns, if I end up putting a 7 or a 9 into any of the cells that are in between those, what I'm going to end up doing is breaking the puzzle. And the reason for that is, and I can demonstrate this probably easier, if I was to put, say, a 7 here, that knocks 7 out of all of those cells. I now have in these 3 columns only those cells in which to put 7s, but that's in 2 rows, but I've got to put 3 7s in 2 rows. So even if I put one there and one there, where do I put the 7 in this column? It doesn't work. In fact, I could see right away before I put that in, because 7 can't go in any of those, and I can't put 7 in a 14 cage, that becomes a 7, and 7 has to go in one of those 2. Which means I can never put, this gives me an X-wing on 7s, I can never put a 7 into this 13 cage or into this 10 cage. Now that doesn't do a lot, but 9s might, because 9 has to go into these cells, which means I can never put a 9 into this 13 cage, and this becomes 5, 8. And if this is 5, 8, yeah, this has to be 5, 8 because I can't put 7 or 9 into this 13 cage, and I can't put 9 into this 10 cage either. And I can't put 2, 8 into this 10 cage because if I put 2, 8 into this 10 cage, I've broken this. This now becomes 4, 6. 5, 8, and 6 all see this. This becomes 9, this becomes 5, which makes this 8 and this 5. 5 is up in one of these two. Now, and that has given me, now 9 is now in an X-wing in those. But this 5 is making that 9 and that 5. So now I can't put 9 there. So because 9, I need to still put 2 9s in this column. I can't put it there, I can't put it there. I need to put a 9 there, which means this is the 7, which means this is the 7. This is not the 7. And now where can I put 9? In this column, the only place I can put it is there. And that has fully resolved all of that. This 7 has made this 8 and this 7. This is not 7. This is not 8. This is not 9. So this is not 6. This is not 8. So this is not 7. And I can get rid of all of the highlight coloring. That is very cool. I've still got more to do though. 7 is in one of those two. 9 is in one of those two. 8 is down. 8 is in one of those two. Because 8 can't go in this row because of the 6, 7, 8, 9, which means one of these two is a 4. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3. Thing is, all I've eliminated from this is 5, 7, and 9. And eliminating 5, 7s, and 9s from black Kropki dots is the definition of useless. 7 is in one of those two. So how do I progress from here? Is it 5's in these columns? Because 5 can't go there, 5 can't go there, 5 can't go there. So in this column, 5 is in one of those. I've already got 5 in this column. In this column, 5 can't go in any of those. It can't go there. Can't go... Well, 5 is here. Because it can't go there. It can't go there because of that 5. Can't go on a dot. Can't go on a dot. That's a 1, 2, 3, and that's a 7. So this is a 5. So this is not a 5. So this is not a 7. This is not a 5 anymore. So this is the 5. And now 5 is in one of those two. And get rid of that color. 5 is now in here somewhere, but 5 is in one of these two, and 5 is in one of these two. Maybe I spotted that faster because I was told I had to look for something. But how do I get into 1s, 2s, and 3s? I mean, this dot is... I mean, it could be 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. Can't be 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, or 8, 9. So this is from 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Can I do more with... Well, I've got the 5 in row 5 now. So these are also from 1, 2, 3, 4. Nine, 9, 9, 9, 9. These are a 5, 9 pair. Because 5 and 9 have to go up here, and neither 5 or 9 can go onto a black Kropki dot. So that's a 5, 9 pair. That's a 7. 7, 7, that becomes a 7. In this row, 7 is in one of those two. So 8 is in one of those two. Put 7 up here in one of those two. 5 is not in... Oh, you've already got 5 in those. So in here... 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. So all of the Kropki dots are still possible, basically. How am I going to break open these black Kropki dots? Let me just look at 5, 7s and 9s again, because maybe there's more I should be doing. No, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. No. I can't remember if I looked at 9 or 5. I really am discombobulated is what I am. That is a 5-9 pair. Oh, cool. 9 and 5 are also lining up so they can't go in here, and that's a 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 5-9 pair, so that's not a 7, that's a 7, that's not a 7, that's a 7. That's a 5-9 pair. Didn't do as much as I'd like, though. So... hang on. There is something weird going on in that column. Because I've got 2 black Kropki dots and I can't use 5, 7 or 9 in the column. So if I was to put 2, 4... is that going to work? No, I can still put 2, 4. Because if I do 2, 4 and 3, 6, this could be 1, 8. Except in this column it can't be. I can't put 8 in either of those. So one of these is an 8. And one of these is an 8. And one of these is an 8. I've got to put 4, 8. 3, 4, 8s onto these dots. Because 8 is knocked out of all of those rows. So 8 has to go on these dots. There are 3, 4, 8s on those dots, which means these can't be 4. Those can't be 4. But those can still. So there is an 8, 4 in here always. Okay, that's weird. So what? Hang on, all of these columns are still playing their game. So let's highlight those cells. Again, I'm going to use green. So there are 3 8 4s on the dots. But how many 6s can I put not on dots in green? Well, I can't put one there, I can't put one there, and I can't put one there, and I can only put one up here. So 2 6s must go on dots. And where I put a 6, I must put a 3. So 2 of these are 6, 3. Which means I can only put... I can't put 4 in any of these cells. I can't put 8 in any of those cells. I've got 1, 3 I can put in one of those cells. But it may be 0. Hang on, can it be 0? Because if I do 3 3 6s and 3 4 8s, then I would just need to fit 3 2s, and I can do that. Because I could... Hang on, but I'd also need to fit 3 1s? Yeah, but I can do that as well, because 1s and 3, all of the low digits aren't really restricted. I mean, maybe I can't, but... So I can... Hang on. But there's only 2 6s that I can... No, that's not true. I could put 3 6s in here, couldn't I? Ah, I don't know. How do I use this? So I know 8 is going to go in one of those two. So there's going to be an 8 in one of... So there's an X-wing on 8s here. No, that's not true at all. Because I could put 8 here and here, or here and here. No, this doesn't take up both 8s. So there are 3 8s in those... Well, I can't put an 8 there. I can't put an 8 there. I'm not seeing this. But what it does mean is this is in a black Kropki relationship. This is in a black Kropki relationship. This has to be in a black Kropki relationship, doesn't it? Yes, because the only way to avoid it being in a black Kropki relationship would be for it to include the 8. So once I take 8 4 out of the picture, because I have to have 3 8 4s in this. So what I've got left for all of these cells are 1, 2, 3, and 6. That's all that can go into these cells. But if I do 1, 4, 8, 3, 6, this becomes 1, 2. And if I go 4, 8, 1, 2, this becomes 3, 6. So these must be in a Kropki relationship. So this can't be a 3 because I can't put a 6 there. This can't be a 3 because I can't put a 6 there. This can't be a 3 because I can't put a 6 there. Because if one of these is 4, 8, if this is 1, 2, this becomes 3, 6. And if this is 4, 8 and this is 3, 6, this becomes 1, 2. So this is a 1, 2, 6 triple. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are 3 and 4, which gives me a 3, 4 pair. So this is not a 3. This is a 1, 2, 6 triple. Can I make... Which means I can't make all of these 3, 6. I can't make them all... only... Yeah, I can only put 1, 6 in here. And I must put 1, 6 in here. So 2 of these are 3, 6. And one of them is 1, 2. Okay, making deductions, but I don't see how to use them. So there's a 4, 8. Is it this? It's got to be something to do with that, doesn't it? I mean, this 3, 4. Oh, no. I mean, because it's not interacting with these in any way. That's close. If that's 8, 4, this becomes 6, 9, this becomes 7, 8. That's... I am not seeing... If this is 8, 4, this can't be 8, 4. Because one of these has to be 8, 4. And if this is 8... Oh, no, that does... If this is 8, 4, this can't be either 8 or 4, and this can't be either 8 or 4. But one of these has to be 8, 4, because I have to put 8 in this column somewhere. Yeah, that's got to be correct. So if this becomes 8 and 4, which of these is 8, 4? None. Because I can't put 4 or 8 there, and I can't put 4 or 8 there. And now there's no 8 in this column. So this is not 8, 4. This is 9, 3. This is not 9. This is not 6. This is a 7, 9 and a 6, 8 pair. This 3 means there's no 3 here, which means this is not 6. There's no 3 here. This is not 6. This is a 1, 2 pair. This is the 6. This is the 3. This is not the 3. There's no 3. In fact, that's a 4, which means this is the 3 and this is the 4, which lines up for the Sudoku I got in there. So these are now 3, 6 and 4, 8. There's no 8 in those. There's no 4 in those. These are 3, 6, 4, 8. I can't put 3 there, so there's no 6 there. There's no 4 in either of those, so there's no 8 in either of those. And now I've got an X-wing on 8s. So there's no 8 in those, so there must be a 4 in one of those to put an 8 in one of those. 4 is now in one of those two, because 4 lining up with 4 puts 4 down here. That is beautiful and nuts. So this is 1, 2, 4, 8. I can't put 4 on the outside the same way I can't put 8 in the middle. So 8 is in here. Except I've got an X-wing on 8s. So 8 in well, these 8s make that 6, which makes this 9, which makes this 7, which makes this 8. That's a cleaner way of seeing that. Now, 4, 6 is not yet resolved. I thought that might have been. There's no 3 there, so that can't be 4. Because for this to be 4, this would have to be 3 out of that consecutive set. There's no 6 here. Oops, not there. There, which means this is not 3. So that's a 3-8 pair. That's a 4-6 pair. It'll be Sudoku at this point that I'm missing somewhere, I'm sure. Is this more restricted now? It really doesn't look it, does it? Like, I could do 1, 2. I could do 2, 4. I could do 3, 6 in a particular order. I could do 4, 8 in a particular order. So 1, 2 is fine. 2, 4 is fine. I could do 3, 6, or I could do 8, 4. So this is only 1, 2, or 4. But this is, hang on. No, why did I, no, there's 6 in here. Obviously I misclicked when I was doing all of that. Oh, this 9 looks back. This is 5, this is 9, which means this is 5 and this is not 5. How am I doing on 9s? So 9, that 9 means that that's a 9 and that's not a 9. Do I have all the 9s yet? I normally don't do the double click thing. That's 9 and that's 5. So now I've got all the 9s. Once I place that 5, I've got all the 5s and 7s. Once I place that 7, I now have all the 5, 7s and 9s. Okay. So did that get me anywhere? What about this quad? Because this is 1, 2, 6, and 8. Well, there's no 6 in those. So that's a 1, 2, 8. This becomes a 6, which takes 6 out of there and 3 out of there. That makes this 4, which makes this 6. This is 1, 2, or 8, and it's not 8. 1, 2 pair. This is the 8. This is the 4. So there's no 8 and 4 there. So that's a 1, 2 pair. This is a 1, 2, 8 triple. So that's a 3. There's no 3 there, so there's no 4 there. This is a 1, 2 pair, which makes this the 8, this not the 8. That's a 1, 2 pair. Wow. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So these are 3, 4, and 6. Now that's not a 3. So 3 is down here. That's not a 6. That's a 4. So there's no 4 there. This is a 3, 6 pair, which means this is not 8. That's the 3, 6. There's no 3, 6 on here. This is the 8. This is the 4. So there's no 8 here. There's no 8 there. There's no 4 there. So this is the 3 and the 6, which means this is the 8 and the 4. Stunningly cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is now a 6, 7. This is an 8. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that 8 takes 8 out of there. So that's the 8. There's no 8 in there. And there's no 1, 2 in there. This is 4. So this is 2. So this is 1, and this is 2. And this is 1, and this is 2, and this is 1. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I always check because I've made mistakes like this so often. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, not always, but and this has to be broken now, doesn't it? This 2 looks up, making this 1 and 2, which makes this 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And that's just following the line of the cursor. This is a 1. So this row, 1, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that 2 looks up. So that's the 6, that's the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 6, which means that's the 3, that's the 6, that's the 3. And now I'm down to the final box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that 2 means that's the 4 and that's the 2. And that is Stromatolite by Bellsita. Yeah, I see why I got a warning on that one. That was beautiful. I honestly think 4 months ago, I may not have been able to solve that puzzle. And if people are struggling with that one, I understand. That is beautiful, though. Using those cages to set up those swordfishes and then the way those swordfishes resolve. And then the beautiful Kropki logic by the 8s being forced off the dots and therefore making these remote. That is just stunningly well put together. Yeah, very, very nice. Beautiful work, Bellsita. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you're enjoying everything that I'm trying to get done. It is very likely I'm going to have to pull some videos from the back catalogue for in the near future. I won't go into details as to why, but I'm about to, yeah, be very, very busy. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. That was, wow, that was great. And hope you're enjoying everything. And as always, good luck with your solving.